Kim Darroch has spent most of his life in Britain's foreign service, but it's the last 3 years as the UK's envoy to the US and the last few days as a target of the American president's wrath that have thrust him into the international spotlight. It started with private diplomatic cables sent by Darroch to headquarters in London, leaked and published last weekend by a British tabloid. In those wires, the veteran diplomat describes the Trump administration in many unflattering terms, including inept and insecure. In response, Nigel Farage, the father of Britain's Brexit camp, said the ambassador was totally unsuitable for office. Donald Trump called Darroch, quote, a very stupid guy, and said Washington would no longer work with him, putting the ball in Darroch's court. On Wednesday, the ambassador announced he'd be leaving his post, saying, quote, the current situation is making it impossible for me to carry out my role as I would like. British Prime Minister Theresa May, who recently welcomed Trump to London, expressed support for Darroch, as did opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn, who's no fan of the American president.
I think the comments made about him are beyond unfair and wrong. I think he's given honourable and good service, and he should be thanked for it.
Good government depends on public servants being able to give full and frank advice. I want all our public servants to have the confidence to be able to do that.
In London, the focus now, figuring out who leaked and how.
There are only about 100 people who would have seen these emails to begin with. So that means that the leak inquiry is going to have to focus on a lot of people who are currently actually in a position of relative integrity. So somebody there betrayed trust dramatically, and a leak inquiry should be able to find that out, I imagine, pretty quickly.
In Washington, one of the president's most vocal defenders on Wednesday defended the outgoing ambassador. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham tweeting, Darroch did an outstanding job as ambassador, and that he was sorry to see him resign. One White House official said Darroch's decision was probably the right choice, and while it may have put out one fire, over in the UK, it ignited a political inferno, with accusations that Boris Johnson, the man most likely to replace Theresa May as Prime Minister, refused to defend Britain's most senior diplomat in order to court favor with the Americans. Roee, Ruttenberg, CGTN in Washington.